Hello everyone, thank you very much for the hosts from Corgi and from Kaze. Yeah, there is, in fact, an Addams Family sequel coming out. I think it's Addams Family Vacation. Thank you, Bizarro Synchro, for the host. Muchly appreciated. And while we're at that, I got followed by a couple people since. Thank you very much for 8 bits. Hello, Bizarro Synchro. Of course, Bizarro Synchro. Again, so thank you for the follow for that, Bizarro. And there was another one. There we go. And lastly, Mecha Noel. Aww, thank you, Weird Plush. I missed all you guys too. It's been so long since last you've seen your son. Hey, Voltage, thank you for resubscribing. Merp, 4 months down, 5 to go. Let's go from Voltage, the transgender circle. Well, thank you, Voltage. Hello, Thomas, and hello, Choco. I can make that maybe a bit bigger so people can actually read the text. But yeah, it's been a hot minute. It's good to be back. It feels like it's been even longer. Like it's been like what, like 2 weeks, but it feels like it's been even longer. I moved and it sucked. Ew. Pardon me, I don't like moving. Moving is stupid. Pardon me. A hot minute. I don't know, it's been pretty chilly out, but tish. Anyway, so y'all already know the deal of how this works. Oh, we're starting to drop frames already. That's a great sign. Oh, you drew? Awesome. So anyway, it's October 1st. Can we play Pumpkin? Yeah, sure. I also didn't have Wi-Fi till Tuesday at the new house, so I missed a few streams. Oh, well, it's alright. I've been missing for like, I went missing, so it's all good. I've just been working my butt. What? I assume you mean like working out. Hang on. I'm gonna pull up the program that I really should have already had pulled up. Why am I sad? Why am I sad? Hang on. Oh, there's no upset. Well, yeah, I figured. I more just meant on this end. You didn't really miss anything. There we go. I did it. Hi, Dresser. I mean, I've been working my butt off at my day job. Ah, fair enough. Hopefully, it can give me courage to make art that I can show. Fair enough. All right. So I heard Pumpkin Hill, so we're going to play that. A Ghost's Pumpkin Soup. I don't know. That's just what my emo defaulted to for some reason. I'm completely art blocked. I'm not going to try drawing out of an indefinite amount of time. Okay. I took material at my main forte, but it turned out pretty good. Fair enough. Shoot Fox tipped. Oh, right. Fenbot, thank you for reminding people that I do in fact accept tips, which is an awesome way to help support the stream. How's the art going? Are you doing commission art? No. Tonight what we're doing is people have sent in art to be critiqued, and I'll be taking a look at that. And in between art that people have sent in as a request, we will be taking a look at some art from another artist named BUTCH HARTMAN, who I always like making fun of. Hey, Lostman, thank you for gifting the gift sub to, doesn't say. Oh, there we go, Kim, to Kim. What? What? What do you mean not this? Oh, you mean BUTCH HARTMAN. I figured it would be kind of a good person to make fun of. Katie Heron. I don't think I've heard of that before. Hang on. You mean from Mean Girls? Oh, well, she didn't draw... Okay. So the thing about her and the NFT thing is that she didn't draw that, so it would feel disingenuous. I will say, Lindsay, that an NFT is a bad deal, and you shouldn't be dealing with it. So I figure, since we're listening to Pumpkin Hill, we can look at this piece by Milksteak. I don't believe Milksteak is here, so we're just kind of gotta go over it. So far, this is actually pretty good. Not too bad. Sonic characters are deceptively difficult to draw, actually, and make it look good. Butch punching back Hartman. Yes. Butch hit me in the head with a wall, Hartman. RFT stands for no fucking thing. NFT, rather. Yes, I am, in fact, Corgus's roommate. She's actually going to be streaming some Silent Hill 2 later, and I might be along for the ride. Probably. Let's go with the ride. Okay, so he does mostly have like the head shape and whatnot down. It's mostly it's not so much a style thing. It's more so just pushing the expression a bit, and perspective on the ears could use a bit of work. Nobody scares me. So again, we're gonna keep this one quick because Milksteak's not actually around. Well, thank you, Bizarre Synchro. So what you do when you draw Sonic muzzles, there's technically two ways you can do it. The more common way is normally just drawing out the basic shape, which is what I normally do. That is not a very good example, which is what I normally do, but alternatively, what you could do is you could actually kind of start off here, kind of draw where the chin and whatnot would be, and then draw the cheeks based off of that. It really depends on how you want to shape it and how you want to go about doing it. Either way is fine. I find this does help with perspective a little bit and helps make the character look a little bit more three-dimensional. Hang on, I'm going to throw on some more music. We did, in fact, listen to Pumpkin Hill. No, Weird Plush. Butch did not draw this. Milksteak drew this. What did Butch do this time? Oh, nothing. I just feel like that making fun of Butch would be kind of an easy way to get back into the trend of these videos. Hang on. I'm just gonna try and find some music to listen to. Thank you very much for the host from Style. Dummy done a moment. Tim Fallen. Tim Fallen. Yeah. Sure, let's listen to some music composed by Tim Fallen. Fox, I can't stop thinking about that insensitive... Ah! Pff! Oh, hi, Style. I'm bad at drawing. Hey, it's alright. We all start off bad. So, typically what you do with a Sonic character, I find... The music's a bit loud. Typically what I do is I like to draw in the shape of the eyes first. So like say here, the character has these kind of round Sonic eyes, so normally what I do is something like this. And then I draw the eyebrows kind of overlapping, and then I make the alterations necessary to make them one eye. Or not one eye, but that kind of Sonic-y, they look like one eye thing, that kind of old cartoon thing. Outside I smile, inside I'm Baka Mitai. Hello everyone, I have Yakuza brain rot, help. What graphic? Okay, so I can't draw characters like Lucina to save me. Hey, again, it just takes time and practice. Also, something I noticed is that the eyebrow has, like, look. So a pretty common problem is that the drawing kind of lacks some depth. Like, if you notice, this is where the eyebrow is. It should be kind of poking off a bit. The ears are alright, but they have kind of an awkward shape to it, but I get what he was trying to do. The horns are also just kind of floating off of the head a little. And also that nose would probably be positioned a little bit to the right, so yeah. Though admittedly, surprisingly, Sonic character nose placement can actually be a little bit difficult. I'm going to assume he doesn't want a redesign of the character, so I'm going to try to be as faithful as I can design-wise. I'm not going to change anything about that. Well, so what, Fox? It's a bit hard to talk about on stream. I'm sorry, I live in Fox's walls. Drywall does not support the Drox's thick ass very well. Tim Fallen does in fact have amazing chiptunes. Oh, that's what that thud was. I've been watching Yakuza VODs up to Kiwami 2 and I can't stop. This Dent Suit Man has consumed my life. Don't worry, we'll be getting back to Dent Suit Man soon. Probably sometime this week, actually. So now what I do is, now that I've like done the eyes, I sort of establish where I want the eyes to go, the eyebrows to go, by drawing them down, and then from there I work on like these kind of sausage shapes, kind of something like this, instead of just, you can see I have a feeling they just kind of drew a bump and there isn't a lot of like flow as to where it should place, so they just kind of look like lines, whereas here it sort of flows along to the shape of the eye a little bit better. As an aside, when you draw the Sonic eyebrows, normally you wouldn't keep these lines here. You would, like, erase them, since they are a part of the body. Versus, like, being, like, eyebrow hair or something. Let's fill out the shape of the head a little bit. Since I always tend to make the head a little small. There we go. The cheeks escaping the face are fine, and I'm okay with that. That's normally, I mean, because they kind of puff out a little bit. If Squidward has no soul, does that mean he's immortal? Yes. 1 to 10, how bad? Like an 8. Indeed, I'm also partial to Commissars and to Bleed's material. I've never heard of them. They're also chiptuners. Occasionally the two will collaborate. If you kill me, I'll sue you and then invest in myself, the Yakuza games. So for the expression, something that Sega themselves forgets to do this, that the Sonic art style is actually very expressive. Or it can be. And something that I really don't like in, like, Sonic Forces, for instance, is that when the characters are upset or whatever, instead of, I mean, Milkstick didn't really do this, I'm just gonna make a complaint. Instead of having, like, the eyes, like, I'll just do, like, a little doodle, like, do something like this. Where the eyebrows go down, and they become more intense, and then they make the pupils smaller, or something. What they'll do instead is they'll just draw the regular-ass Sonic eyes. Ah, Silver Surfer. Available on LP, or it was. And then they'll just make the eyelids look angry, and then keep the eyes, like, the same. Doesn't look as good, does it? I mean, admittedly, this is like a very rough doodle, but, like, you get what I'm saying. So, it's kind of pays to push the expressions a little bit more. I think Milkstick probably could have made the eyes a little bit... Hell, I could have made the eyes a little bit wider, so I think I'm going to go back and fix that. Hang on. Like, a little bit more tense, rather. Like... Wow, I'm really feathering the lines bad today. Push those expressions to plus ultra. Style can't make it anyway. He's eternally bound to Fox as well. Style did not go to Syria. You wouldn't make it. If you kill me. And you describe what my twin hates the most about the more recent Sonic games. Well, okay, so I know your twin and I wouldn't agree on a lot of things, Sonic, but I know we would agree on that. Because characters aren't expressive. And, okay, in, like, Sonic Adventure 2, whatever, it makes sense. Those games came out, like, 98 and 2001. It's 20 goddamn... Sonic Forces came out in 20 goddamn 17. There's, like, no excuse at this point. So, again, make the pupils... You don't necessarily have to do this, but I like doing this. Make the pupils a little smaller. I have a feeling maybe I'm going for an expression that's more intense than what he was going for. But the mouth shape is fine, but it's a little plain. It just kind of like but you could probably go for something like this, where there's like a bit more like fold to it or whatever. Also, so this is a minor thing, but there's a few different ways you could do the Sonic teeth. He kind of just did a line, which doesn't ever tend to look as well. It always looks kind of flat. Or, not flat, because technically just the lines here are also flat, but, like, stylistically, it's just kind of... Meh. New Sonic game will just give Sonic an I am angry sign. He's not evil. Ironically, he's more innocent than me. Well, that's debatable. So, anyway, so next up, I have a feeling he kind of just placed the ears on and then lines where the perspective would be, which it looks a little awkward. So what he should have done is, instead, plan where he wants the first ear to go. Draw the shape of them, so something like that. Actually, you could probably get away with like having it kind of fold like this or something because he's angry. Listen to more Silver Surfer, I think. Yeah! And then you kind of add in these circles or whatever, any kind of thing that could help you find the volume of the ear, or rather like it's basically to help you find a marker to draw the inner ear. And then you do so, add a little thing, and there you go. Of course, this is gonna, how that ear and whatnot is drawn depends on every Sonic artist, and everyone's gonna be a little bit different, but this will at least help to give a bit more perspective. And then you find, based on that, where the ear should be placed on the other side, usually drawing some lines or something to help you find better positioning. And then you kind of, admittedly, there's some guesswork here. Again, my style's not perfect. I am not yet a proper professional, and I've never drawn Sonic professionally, so probably never will. Well, no, actually, that's a fib. I think I've been commissioned to draw Sonic before, so technically I have. Admittedly, that's not perfect, but you kind of get the gist of what I'm going for. He almost kind of looks like a dog right now. And then you add in the horns. Okay, sorry. You can't leave. You'll be out of the hugging range. The newspaper fucks. Also, I do follow you and Kaze on Twitter. Oh, thank you, Bizarro. I see Bizarro's already getting into the habit of, Not actually, though. I'm still here playing a stupid bit. I missed that. I missed whatever the bit was. We are at 11 viewers. Nice. So, horns are a little bit tricky, but in the Sonic style, you'd want them to color kind of clean silhouette. So I'd recommend breaking it down to as few shapes as possible. I'd say something like, start with like a big ol' wide, something like this. Adding one here. Remembering to try and keep dimensionality. I really should have, hang on. What I should be doing is starting with the big shape. Then kind of marking down where I want the next one to go. Putting that down, and then the next smaller one, which I would say is up here, but it doesn't matter. And there you go. If you want to help finding the kind of marker of where things go, you could draw like a net on the inside, draw the circles like we did with the ears, and then you do a kind of similar thing for the other end. This should help to clear up the character silhouette a little bit. Hey, thank you very much for the host from Choco Mingo. There we go. And then we just add in things like the circles. Like I said, I don't want to focus too much on changing the design. And there you go. Alternatively, if we wanted to go for, maybe he was going for more like, instead of like a fiercely angry, more of like a kind of determined kind of angry face. I'm gonna kind of copy this. And we're gonna fix it up a little bit. And we're going to kind of see if I can get away with doing a look that's a little bit less like fierce and angry and more like I'm going to. Do you have any idea how cheap the paper used for newspaper feels? That's a weak ass weapon of mass destruction. You'll alert Captain Trumpet. I'm going to shit yourself. I have no idea what's going on in the chat. I feel like I miss what's happening in the chat a lot of the time. So here, because the expression I'm going for is a little bit less fierce, we can have a little bit less emphasis on the eyebrows. I'd say just having them kind of up here is fine. And then the mouth could be like something like that. Okay, so those are kind of my notes. Basically, I feel like that what Milksteak could help them a lot is drawing through on a lot of their shapes. That could help them better find the dimensionality of the drawing, like have a better idea of how to make it look more three-dimensional. And that will help to create, like, again, it'll help them to find where everything lays. Like, if you lay out the planes of the face in 3 dimensions, or like you were doing 3 dimensions, it'll help you figure out how to sort of portion out the face better and make it look, of course, more three-dimensional. The drawing I provided is not perfect, but I think it does kind of give an idea. Also, I feel like he could have pushed the expression a little bit more. It's not bad, though. In fact, I remember last time he shared a piece of Sonic art. This is much improved over that one, so it's good to see that he's still working on it and still improving. So that's really good. Anyway, we're going to save this as... Aw, no you. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Also, hi, Shockin. Also, what do you mean we did it, Reddit? Hi, Bonzi! I am being hugged by friend. Something about a weapon of mass destruction. Oh, there it is. Is it bad for me to talk about stuff I made in other streams? Not necessarily. Yes, Shockin, you're cute. Yes, Bonzi is cute. Everyone in chat is cute, yes. Hey, Bonzi, thank you very much for the 100 biddies. Touch me. The war crime of Butch Hartman we are looking at today. Well, let's see. Wait, hold up. Tim Follin did the music for Treasure Master? Touch me harder. I'm not a big fan of that. Yeah, really? Oh, wow. Okay. So Butch Hartman decided to draw Nick and Judy from Zootopia as humans because, you know, let's take one of the most established visual elements of the movie and make it boring. Why not? I love it when people do that. Okay, that aside, these redesigns are they're okay, I guess, but like the art itself could use a lot of work. Obviously, a lot of the issue... Thank you very much for the 10,000 biddies from Bonzi, buddy. Jesus Christ, Bonzi. I despise you, Heartman. It's called a hustle, sweetheart. Ah, bitch Fartman. Hello, friends. That looks like Danny Phantom, but Irish... It does. That's because... And I recognize I'm one to say this because... It's so funny. One of the things I criticize Butch Hartman for is the fact that he draws so many of his characters with the same type of hair. Thank you for the one biddy. Please do my art. Bonzi, is your art in the art critique channel? Ah, yes, that you did in fact post some. We will take a look of that after Butch Hartman. So I think what he could have done is he could have, for starters, these designs are not very inspired. Judy's is alright, although I'm a bit confused by her hair being brown instead of like gray or white or something, but okay, we're not coloring. Maybe instead what he could have done is he could have pushed the poses out a little more. As it stands, this is very static. There isn't like a... Yes, erase it. There isn't like a lot of energy. It's just... And she's kind of just... It's not very exciting, is it? Like, hang on, It's just kind of... It's not very exciting. I feel like he could have pushed the poses a little bit more. That Judy pose is painful. It is. She kind of looks like... I think I get what he's trying to do. She's got a bit of a tilted head. Oh, also the expressions look awful. Really... Oh, same Rintastic. Anytime I see an anthropomorphic character turned into a human, I cry a little. Why is half of Nick's arm disappearing? I don't know. To be fair, crossing arms is hard. But you know what? Let's see what I can do here. So what I would have done is I would have pushed Nick out a little bit. Let's really... In fact, hang on. I'm going to look up real quick. Sorry, guys. I'm just looking up some more reference material here. I just need like a tall character. You know what? Let's just fucking go for it. Whatever. I can't find exactly this kind of pose for a taller character, but let's just go for it. Is this me or does he look like Peter Pan? Commodore 64! It is, in fact, the Commodore. It's like he got rid of the silver hair because it might have looked unnatural and he was so shit, but then kept the fucking purple eyes of everyone else on Earth has. Exactly. I'm not trying to be Trumpety, but Nick is a lot more curvy than that, both posture and... Yes, he is. He's more stout and more, like... I guess the idea is to give them slightly more humanistic, like, anatomy and whatnot, but it just looks awkward, man. No, I'm just gonna frickin'... I just need like a good kind of like style. You know what this'll do? This lineup of a whole bunch of the characters should do nicely. So let's Because something that he constantly does is he boasts about how I'm drawing in the Fairly Oddparents style, when he's really, really not. If I remember correctly, a lot of the Fairly Oddparents, like the final show style was, oh, there's Norm the Genie, and now I'm sad. Anyway, was determined by Steven Silver. Although, admittedly, if you look at Butch's original kind of art style for the pitch and whatnot, it wasn't too different. Remember when Butch Hartman made a religious cartoon and charged, like, way too much for 12 episodes? Yes! Yes, I do! That's one of the things we've made fun of him for. It's actually very hard to see when it's all, like, black and whatnot. But we are certainly going to try. What game is this? Oh, it's Ghouls and Ghosts. Huh. This doesn't sound anything like the Ghouls and Ghosts music, but it's pretty good. It's not my favorite Tim Fallon work, but, like, you know. Yeah, as you can see, the crossed arms didn't exactly come out too great. But that's what happens when you're trying to do Butch Hartman. I'm like, it's very tempting for me to see if I can draw, like, Nick and Judy proper, like Butch. But, you know, that's kind of getting away from the point, honestly. Let's just keep going. Let's go with the premise of the drawing, if we really have to, even though it's a waste, but whatever. You know who I could have probably referenced for this? Chip Skylark. Fox is not food, he is friend. I think it's deceptively complex, and there's less sound channels on the C64 than the NES. Yeah, exactly! Can't wait till you draw Damien. Good luck drawing that. I will certainly try. Most Hartman character designs were done by someone else entirely. Yeah, Steven Silver contributed a lot to the character design and general look of the final product of the Fairly Oddparents. You might know Steven Silver for also working on Kim Possible. He also did a much better Danny Phantom 10 years later redesign. I think there was, like, plants on his shirt or something. I actually don't remember. Let's just, like, leave it and then just... Hey! Thank you, Kim, for redeeming posture check-in. Oh, I'm actually almost out of drink. Actually, basically, I'm out of drink. This is one ugly Wendigo. Eggnog and hot chocolate can be enjoyed anytime. Most AU/West scenarios focusing on changing small things that have big consequences, but I think that's thinking too small. There's much more you consider if you open your mind to it. Like, what if Butch Hartman made a Yakuza cartoon? What? Why? Admittedly, it's not a perfect circle, so this ain't gonna look exactly right, but nah. Nah, I say nah. Yeah, you could definitely tell Tim Fallon is definitely making this, Atari, not Atari, sorry, this Commodore 64 work its heart out. Actually, I wonder, do they have a... Dang it, they don't have 2D on this thing. Oh well, let's just freaking go for it. It'll probably still look better than the actual picture. Admittedly, the Judy's not coming out too great, but, you know, whatevs. Decide to make her look a little more angy because, you know, I don't know. Winter's coming. Does Yakuza this year have a day-night time system? Not really. At least I don't think it does. I haven't noticed it. There are things about winter I like. I just don't like winter stuff. People don't want why Butch's lifestyle isn't like the shows because the style's decided by the network and then animators decided, I think. Checking his... Okay, yeah, fair enough. But, like, it was still based on his pitch and whatnot, and he still designed and worked on the characters and whatnot. And he can still draw like that. But then what happens is that he'll draw a character that looks like this. And then he'll say that, oh, it's the Fairly Oddparents style. Like, I had to correct a drawing that he did correct. Quote unquote. One of the things I did was I did a drawing that he did of Matt Pat that he said was in the Fairly Oddparents style. And it looked nothing like that! I choked my water and it went to my nose and it burns. God damn it, of course you did. Fox, you see, you're forgetting that he doesn't care. Yeah, clearly he does not care. And that's what bothers me. That's one of the main reasons why Bing Hartman makes me so goddamn... It's style, baby. But, why it makes me so upset is because, like, I know he could do better than the output that he does, but he doesn't, and what we get looks way worse than what people pay for, than what we expect a professional artist to do. And then he acts all fucking smug about it. Like, I just block out the haters and they give me motivation. No, you're blocking them out because you don't want to hear anything outside of the basically very little of any critique you probably ever got being a Hollywood big shot. I'm sorry that the rest of the world has began to smell the shit that you're spewing, Butch. That's how it is. You spew shit for long enough. This one's the Amiga version. Anyway, we try. Oh well, at least we tried. I think the Nick in this drawing came out much better than the Judy did, but to be fair, she wasn't quite as much fun to draw. Anyway, so there, we tried. The Judy, not so great. The Nick actually came out pretty good, though. I honestly think the Amiga soundtrack is what... Really? So far I'm jamming out to it, but I would have to hear it again. I'd have to hear, like, the rest of it, rather. He pays ridiculous price for Trey starting Norse criticism unless he made a success. Yeah, I guarantee you, even if, like... Because here's the thing. People bring us, like, unless he's made a successful show. But I guarantee you, if another artist who has, he probably still wouldn't take their critique into consideration. He just wouldn't be so quick to insult them. Butch scammed $25,000 legally from people. Yes, he did. Okay, we're going to take a look at some art. Let's take a look, actually, at Bonzi's next. But first... I'm gonna go grab myself a drink. The touchscreen music is nice, but the rest of it isn't great. I see. Anyway, we will be right back. I'm gonna go grab myself a drink. I see fire is already happening. Kim the Rosemouse tried to swim in lava. Ah, yes, the interview. Ugh. so... Okay, so I'm looking up Wendigo as reference, and the first thing I see is Joe Biden is not the Wendigo, says Joe Biden unprompted. All right! The problem when we're looking up a mythological creature is that there's so many different interpretations. Leggy. Low Poly Guru wants to know your location. Low Poly Guru can piss off. Can you critique something later? Yeah, absolutely. Just stick it in the art critique channel in the Discord, and I will take a look at that. You're American, and you do no good for natives. You're literally a Wendigo. Yeah, you know what? One. I mean, he kind of looks like one. I wonder if I could find, like, some, like, traditional Wendigo art. Or, rather, Wendigo. Wendigo. I've seen it spelled both ways. Actually, a lot... This probably isn't the, What I'm gonna do... Hang on. I'm gonna, like, real quickly go to, like, a... Agent X2, the Mad Prof's back. Wendigo's... Oh, it's Algonquin. I actually didn't know that. Algonquin language, including the Abenaki... please forgive my mispronunciation. Siksika, Mi'kmaq, Algonquin, Ojibwe, and Innu. The spelling and pronunciation of the word Wendigo differs. Wendigo, Weedigo. Okay. So there's a few different interpretations of how it would, like, look. But the one that I see a lot of is, like, some sort of, like, deer head or something. So let's go with that. I'm gonna, like, look up, like, a deer skull. And then we'll work from there. So the first thing I would work on is the posing. The pose of the character themselves is kind of stiff and not entirely clear on what they're doing in certain spots. So he's eating this piece of meat. I think that's pretty obvious, but it looks like he's chewing on the bone, which he might be. I don't know. But we could, like, really sell that where he's kind of gnawing on it or something. Going with that idea, let's, okay, it's a critique, so after stream you can check it out. Oh, you want me to check it out after the stream? Okay. It can be, yeah. It can actually be quite to misuse depictions of the Wendigo. That's actually why I was doing a bit of quick reading, because I wanted to make sure I didn't do anything that was tasteless. Wendigos are cool, but let's just like anything, there is a history behind it, and we do have to make sure to represent that. What is nice though is that there is a fairly decent amount of interpretations. You heading out, Lyoko? Noms on chicken. Bye, Lyoko. It's alright. Refer to it as a demon. Just a demon, nothing more to it. Bionic Commando. Oh, is this Bionic Commando? Whenever I think of Bionic Commando... Oh, wow, that's funny. This design for the Bionic Commando guy looks actually kind of close to the reboot one. So I'm going to kind of have him hunched over. Actually, wondering, because I have a few ideas here. I'm going to thumbnail out some ideas. I don't want to spend super long on each drawing because I know everyone kind of wants a shot. So anyway, I'm just going to, just a piece of paper, whatever. One where he's kind of like hunched over, kind of tearing away at the meat could be cool. One where he's like You know, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually, I'm gonna have him with the meat, but we're gonna, he's not exactly, or we sort of caught him in the middle of eating it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to, also grab another reference of it facing forward. So, and this one has the horn, so that's like a double plus. I do like you kind of gave it almost like a wooden texture, almost like the horns are made out of like wood. That's like super unnatural. I like that a lot. So maybe we'll go with that. We'll see. It is your design after all, Bonzi. So don't want to get too. I don't want to interfere with that too much. Lemmings, 2006. That was a pretty big jump. Should I add my own art? Only if you want. The one that goes an American cultural thing. Even my clean art tends to be kind of inappropriate, honestly. Yes. Several different cultures. We was reading on that earlier. Those specifically, they seem to be related to groups that speak in Algonquin. Though they've most likely have expanded far beyond that. Just those things. There was a whole bunch like Mi'kmaq and Ojibwe and things like that. Admittedly, again, please forgive the mispronunciation. So if you look here, the pose is a little stiff, where the character's arms are kind of just stuck out, and they're just kind of... Whereas what might be a better idea would be, again, I'm having him kind of turn, and then giving him a more natural arc of movement. Or rather, a more, like, natural pose, largely by using a line of action. Lines of action are super helpful in helping to make your character posing feel a little bit more realistic. And there's a few different ways you can do it. Something that people like doing is when they've got a model. I learned this actually fairly recently. This is really good for gesturing. Is that instead they find multiple lines of action through the piece based on different parts of the way that the body's moving. So if I had like a pose of someone running, I might get like the line of action of their leg stretched out, this point of their leg, their arm up here, the way that their body's moving, something like that. This music is very much around the time before Tim Fallon quit video game music. I actually didn't know that he quit video game music. Spider-Man: The X-Men Arcade's Revenge. He did a lot of Marvel, I notice. I think my brother owns this, and it like sucks. Like the game. This music's pretty freaking dope, though. There's the action in the stance line. I forget what that's called. Yeah, no, the music kicks ass. I posted my art in the chat. Awesome. I will take a look at that in a minute, Chalkin. So already, just there's a bit more of a ferocity to the pose, and then being kind of bent over and whatnot. I don't know if Bonzi's still watching. I hope they are. And if they're not, I hope they check out the VOD for this, because, you know, it's always fun. Or at least I enjoy getting critique for my art, honestly, because it just feels nice to get direction. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna make him like he's a little chunky here, but if you look, he's got visible ribs. What we should be doing is we should be trying to emphasize the actual like shape of the body more, to really emphasize that he's thin. So what I'm doing is I'm actually like his stomach is very withdrawn in, and then we're gonna add in the rib lines. Admittedly, this isn't the most accurate placing of them. So I kind of forgot that there's a Final Fantasy VII Battle Royale coming out. Yes, there is! And also a more faithful to the original remake coming out. But only on mobile phones. Yeah, not on Switch, where it probably could have easily run it. And then you could be like, there are Switch fans, you've got your remake. Yeah, I don't get it. Circle in the sand, round and round. There's the action in the stance line. I forgot what I think it is just called the stance line. Stranger Paradise is such a jokey edge fest. Oh, I saw the clip where, like, the girl is like, I want it to become chaos so people could have, like, a natural thing that they could all hate. Because it'll feel like, like, defeating one great force will make everyone feel better. And he just goes, bullshit. And then he walks away, pulls out his phone, and starts playing edgy music. There's 30, yeah. I'm kind of on board in a kind of in an ironic sense. Admittedly, we're gonna, his eyes are kind of up here, which is a little awkward. And we're kind of gonna give him like these forward-facing eyes. Make them completely black. Give them these tiny little pupils. Maybe a little bit of, like, kind of scratchiness around the eyes. There's the nose. You did kind of get the right general shape, but if you look, it's kind of just flat on there. When if you actually look at it, there's a bit of an arc, and also there's a bump. So, it's sort of important to get that bump in there, too. But it doesn't look too bad, actually. A Wendigo is not a character I see done a lot, and I think it is because it's such a complex thing. I have seen characters inspired by Wendigos, but never just a straight up or rather I have seen Wendigos. There's not a lot. Wait, it was actually Limp Bizkit? What? D, that was not actually Limp Bizkit, was it? This music is pretty dope. X-Men Arcade's Revenge, yeah, this is pretty dope. The Plock's music is fantastic. I don't know if I'd say this is better than Plock. Apparently, what? Are you fucking kidding me? This has to be on purpose. There is no way. There is no way this is not intentionally a callback to late 90s, early 2000s, like early to mid 2000s, like Edge. There's no way. Apparently, this is Cyclops' theme. Okay. Doesn't really fit him. It's a pretty good track, though. Let's draw the biggest shape like we did for the song. I'm feathering again. Damn it! Artist note, feathering actually makes not only your lines worse, but also could potentially make your posing stiffer. Food for thought. I think Nomura is very the universe is filling out, so here's the thing, I don't know. Sometimes it seems like he does, and other times it's like he's playing to his own tropes without realizing it, and it's just like, buddy... Like, it has to be a joke in this case. Like, it has to be. There's no way. So that means that Fred Durst is Canada FF, and now I want to choke on acid. The acid that comes with those pony toys. Kaze, please don't. I've done that. It hurt. How are you not dead? Feathering Dunshaku is... Okay, so normally when you draw a line, you should just do something like this. It's quick, it's bold, it's quick, it's bold, it's to the point. But something that a lot of beginner artists, and even some professionals tend to do sometimes, is when they're drawing a line, maybe they're not confident they're going to get the shape right. Instead of just doing, like, the big old shapes, or maybe, like, a couple shapes to get, like, the whatever, they'll do something like this. When doing lines. And that actually, despite how it feels like you're getting more control, that actually gives you less control. And again, a bit of it sometimes is fine, but like what I used to do is I used to draw all my characters basically like this. And you see that doesn't look good. Again, sometimes I do catch myself doing that. It's not nearly as bad as it used to be, but the thing about feathering is that it's a very easy trap to fall back into. And again, sometimes when you're doing a thing, it will call for a couple little lines, a little bit of feathering, but not like as extreme as some artists will do it. That's what I do still. Then you're going to want to get out of that habit as soon as you can. Long, bold lines if you can help it. Well, I say bold, but like you got bold movements, not necessarily bold in terms of like heaviness, but like bold movements. Even if you have to go back and erase some things, I guarantee you it will, in the long run, end up looking better. So you did keep the hooves, that's good. Like you added the hooves rather than like giving it like human feet or something, which I mean that's fine because according to some mythos, Wendigos actually did in fact start off as humans, and then they become Wendigos because of greed or hatred or whatever. I'm gonna add on like some cracks, a little bit of rotting flesh. Admittedly, it's kind of low detail, but I'm not really sure what's going on with his neck. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I am gonna kind of have kind of like the spiky kind of spine thing he's got going.